My goodness, what a change in conditions from yesterday to today. My goodness, we had another major storm last night. 80 degrees yesterday when we were playing around. Today, it is 55 degrees, and I don't know what's gonna happen today. You know what? We're just gonna try to figure out this front. You're here in the boat with us. We're going fishing. Welcome to the show. Oh man, I was swimming that tube back to the boat, and he ate it. Look at that. Oh man, did he eat that. Man, these fish are pretty today. This is getting fun here. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, man, is that getting fun. Look at that red line. I'm going to have to get pliers to get that out of here. My goodness. That hook is fantastic. Man, that hook is fantastic. Look at that. Look at that beautiful fish. Now, these are still on, some of these are still on the nest. You can tell right here. Goodness gracious, is that fun? I still, after all these years of doing it, it's one of my absolute favorite things to do is pitching a jig or pitching plastics, because that bite is so definite. You're reeling in or you hop it and all of a sudden the line just starts taking off. That never gets old. And I was swimming that back to the boat, just reeling it slow, hit a branch, popped it over, it went to swim it, and the line just pulled down. Still, get your heart going. Love it, love it. Threw back in there. Oh, good, another good one there. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, come here. Yeah, good one there. I threw that tube in there and I felt him hit it for a second and then it was gone. And I re-rigged the tube and just pitched back in there and let it sit and then shook it. And she ate it. Beautiful fish right there. Oh, that is so fun. And all what happens is sometimes what'll happen, and I think some of these fish are on beds, and what'll happen is they'll pick it up and blow it off. And if you get that feeling and you feel that sensation, the best thing you can do is just make sure everything's rigged right and then pitch back in there again, let it sit there, settle, and then she just picked it up and started walking away with it. So persistence is definitely the name of the game today, and for us, it is paying off. All right, I want to show you exactly what we're fishing here. If you look over, you can see that wood in the water right there with all that moss around it. What I feel is going on is these fish are spawning underneath this wood right here. And so we're just throwing around any little stick, any little thing, and there's a quick drop off right here, anywhere from 2 to about 5 foot of water. And they seem to be right on that, sometimes right next to the piece of wood, sometimes right out in front of it. Now, there's been a couple occasions that I know for a fact today that I threw in there, caught the male, came back around again, threw in there, and caught the female. They're staying really tight to that wood, but it's got to be wood and grass close to a little bit of a drop off. So what I'm doing right now is I'm being completely thorough, working the boat slowly. Thank God for spot lock on this, because as windy it is in some of the parts of the lake we're fishing today, spot lock is a big deal because I can sit on an area and thoroughly work it. And sometimes you really need to do that. They may not bite on the first cast, but if you think a fish is in there, do not hesitate to throw 2, 3, 4, 5 casts, because sometimes on that last cast is the one that's going to aggravate that fish, or in the stained water where that fish is going to be able to see it, and that's when you're going to get that bite. Hey, obviously we're having an incredible day, much better than even I expected today, and I want to go over the equipment that we're using because this did make a difference today. First, I want to start off with the reel, and this is a Cast King Speed Demon Elite. This is the skipping version, so it's got a shallower spool. Holds about around 40 yards of 17-pound test. Suffix is which I'm using. It's Suffix Invisalign, and that is a fluorocarbon line, very abrasion resistant. And I don't need much more line than that because we're we're in pretty close proximity to where we're throwing at the cover. So this shallow spool, if I get a backlash, it's really easy to dig it out. I love this reel. It's got an 8:6:1 gear ratio. It's got over 34 inches of line per turn of the handle, 10+1 ball bearings, and over 18 pounds of drag pressure. This is one stout machine. Matter of fact, the 8:6:1 and the Speed Demon, I use this on several of my rods. I use it when fishing a jig deep. Now this is a deeper spool. I also fish it on a swim jig and also on my regular jig reel. This does a lot of work for me. I love it. The rod is quickly becoming one of my favorite jig rods that I've ever built. And this is an MHX blank from Mudhole, and this is an
MB 843 7-foot.
7-foot rod. This handles 10 to 17 pound test on average. It's got a great fast tip on it, but what a lot of backbone. And you know, I've built a lot of jig rods over the years, and I have to say without question that the MHX blanks are probably the most sensitive that I've ever used. When you can feel the line coming through the guides, pick up on the line and literally feel the fish crunching down on the bait, this is really something. If you're a rod builder and you haven't built on an MHX blank, I highly suggest that you look into it. You will be impressed. The bait is just a lure parts online. Tube Craw, all the lure parts online, baits, the Bass Academy line, which we have, are all soaked in that crunch juice. When fish bite down it, they will not let go of it. And we were researching this bait a couple years ago. We named it Crunch because literally when they grab it, you can literally feel them crunching down on it. Got a 3/8 ounce weight on here with a Redline 4.0 EWG hook. Just a fantastic combination. I always use that EWG when I'm fishing thicker baits like this. You just get a better bite radius on that hook, and that Redline hook really drives the hook home. This is one of my favorite types of fishing for largemouth bass. This is hand-to-hand combat. You're close, you feel the bite, you see the line moving. It's exciting stuff. That's the equipment. Awesome setup. It works for me. I know it'll work for you. I dropped that bait in there, man, and it was just a solid thump. That is, oh my goodness, what a day we are having today. Look at this thing. Whew. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that was awesome. These fish are tucked so tight back in that cover. Oh, look at that. What a pretty fish that is, huh? How cool is that? These fish are tucked so tight back in this cover that you have to get, if they're not on the edges when the wind's blowing, when we're a little out of the wind, let me put on spot lock here for a second. When you're out of the wind, they are tucked up against a bank because the water's higher. So remember something, whenever you have rising water, when you have water that has come up, fish will almost always flock to newly flooded vegetation. So even if you have to get all the way back into the bank right there, the more you can get closer to the bank and the more you have overhanging stuff like that with wood and grass, the better your chances of catching big fish like that. You have to be accurate with your cast. And so I still, after all these years, I still practice in the off season with just like a little bowl and pitch those baits in there, because in that off season when you do it right now, that's why it pays off, because I practice in the off season and I can get back in those little things. I can do it, so can you. I just saw him. There's a big one right there. There's a big one right there. I just saw him move. I just saw him move. I saw that fish, about a 4 or 5 pounder. There he's going. Got him. Watch that whole thing. Oh, is that awesome? There's a big fish there, buddy. Wow. Was that fun? Whoa, come here. Oh, I saw that fish move up there and threw that tube in there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one, look at that one. Oh my God, oh, that's the biggest bass I've caught in a long time. Holy cow, look at that awesome fish. I'm sorry for getting so excited, but oh my goodness, look at the size of that bass. Look at the size of that bass. I gotta get a picture of this, folks. Oh, we gotta put this beautiful fish back. Oh, come on, sweetheart. Get you back there. Get you back there. Here. Make sure you're okay. come here. All right. Oh, thank you, God. What an awesome day we were having. My heart is about ready to beat out of my chest. Oh man, that's a good fish right there. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh, come here, you beautiful thing. Come here. Come here. Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. That red line, VMC red line right in the nose. Look at that beautiful fish right there. I'll tell you what, we worked hard today, and sometimes that's what you have to do, but persistence paid off. What a great way to end this show. I just love when stuff like this comes together. You start out slow, you keep your head down, and you do it. If I can do it, so can you. When times get tough, put on your confidence baits, stick with it, stay throughout the day, and you will do well. Thank you so much for joining us. Always glad that you're here. Until next time, God bless you. I'm Jim Crowley. We'll see you soon.